Mr. Big. Mr. Big is a technique used by police and intelligence agencies in major criminal investigations. A fake criminal organization consisting of policemen is created. The suspect is persuaded to join the organization by chance or in exchange for money. Once convinced, the suspect thinks that he or she has entered into a deal that will leave him or her unharmed. The police arrange for the suspect to have a chance encounter with the organization. Over time, trust is built between the fake organization and the suspect. All the work assigned to the suspect is completed successfully, and the suspect is seen as a rising figure within the organization. The successful suspect is introduced to the leader of the criminal organization. Mr. Big is actually a professional interrogator. Mr. Big gives the suspect details about his past and tells him that he cooperated with the police, and that's why he rose so fast in the organization, and threatens him and even creates a fake execution scenario. At a moment when the suspect is very scared, he tells him to tell him everything about his past and to tell him everything so that there will be no trust issues between them. He tells him that only in this way can he trust him, and that he will become one of the important figures of the organization, which leads the suspect to confess. The last interview is recorded, and once the confession is complete, the fake criminal organization is exposed as police and the suspect is arrested. This technique is usually used as a last resort and is usually successful because the suspect is aware of Mr. Big's power and luxury. Big's power and luxury, the suspect is both afraid and unwilling to leave. Hypothesis testing. During the hypothesis testing interrogation process, the suspect is presented with an imaginary scenario by the police. This scenario should be similar to the one experienced by the suspect. In the imaginary scenario, the police ask the suspect questions such as, let's say that a friend of yours is experiencing this situation, not you. What would your friend do in this situation? The suspect is forced to look at the situation from the outside, and her point of view and contradictory answers are used in the interrogation process. In this case, a body language expert monitors the interrogation from outside the interrogation room and analyzes how the suspect reacts to imaginary events. Good cop, bad cop. Good Cop, Bad Cop is named after the 1900s comic book characters Muff and Jeff. While Muff played the role of the tall, thin, and cunning bad cop, Jeff played the role of the short, stocky, and naive good cop. In this interrogation technique, police with two opposite approaches interrogate the suspect. The bad cop adopts a hostile approach with threats, while the good cop adopts a sympathetic approach with empathy. The good cop starts to protect the suspect from the threats and accusations of the bad cop. This helps the suspect to build trust in the good police and instinctively cooperate. Minimization and maximization. Minimization and maximization is a psychological technique used in interrogation. It aims to break the psychological resistance of the suspect by exaggerating or minimizing the incident, and to make the suspect confess. For example, the seriousness of the crime is underestimated by telling the suspect that this incident can happen to anyone. The aim is to comfort the person and encourage him to confess. Or it is said that this is a very serious crime, and if you do not confess now, the consequences will be more severe for you. In fact, the aim is to scare the suspect into confessing. Pause technique. The pause technique is often used unwittingly in police interrogations, psychological manipulation, and even between partners. It involves asking the suspect a question and then waiting in silence without breaking eye contact. The suspect feels pressure and stress. This is a very effective method, and you can try it. For example, you can ask your best friend the following question: "Are you hiding something from me? Have you been acting strange lately?" Your silence will make her more worried, and you will learn a lot of information. Rapid fire. Rapid fire is a technique that prevents a suspect from fabricating a case. It takes time to construct a fake case, but rapid succession of questions disrupts his plan. This technique involves more than one interrogator. Before the suspect can answer a question, another question is asked, and then another. It confuses the suspect and makes him contradict himself because he has little time to formulate answers. The suspect contradicts himself in ways that will get him caught. Reverse chronology technique. In the reverse chronology technique, the suspect is asked to give a long account of how the incident took place. The suspect recounts the events in sequence. The interrogating police officer asks the suspect to tell the story again, but from the end to the beginning. If the event is a fiction, the suspect will say inconsistent things. This is because the human brain finds it difficult to recount a fictionalized event in reverse, and the suspect is caught. Body language technique. Body language technique is not a technique that ordinary interrogation police officers can perform. It requires a high level of training and experience. Body language analysts are usually found in federal agencies such as the FBI, CBP, USSS. These specialists come into play when the information that the suspect or criminal has to give is urgent and the suspect refuses to talk. These experts trust the language of the body, that is, the information provided by gestures, micro-expressions, and posture, more than words, because they know that body language is the only common language in the world. PEACE technique. The PEACE technique is a 5-step method used by the British police. Its aim is to reduce psychological pressure. Planning and preparation. Evidence, information, and strategies are identified. Engage and explain. Interrogation. Police introduce themselves and establish a relationship of trust. Account. The suspect is asked to give a detailed description of the incident. Closure. To finish the interrogation without tiring the suspect too much. Evaluate. The information obtained is reviewed and compared with the evidence. Reid Technique. Since the Reid Technique is an aggressive and oppressive method, it was banned in some states in the USA in 2020. In this technique, the body language clues of the interrogated person are analyzed. The suspect then undergoes a 9-stage interrogation process. Direct confrontation. The suspect is told that it is known that he has definitely committed the crime. Theme development. The suspect is confronted with the crime by providing a motive. Handling denials. The suspect's denials are not accepted. Overcoming objections. The suspect's objections are not accepted. Retaining suspect's attention. The suspect is approached more physically. Handling passive mood. Observing the psychological breakdown of the suspect. Presenting an alternative question. Presenting the suspect with options for a lesser sentence. Developing the confession. The suspect's confession is linked to concrete evidence, e.g., where did you bury the gun? Securing a written confession. A written confession is obtained from the suspect. According to some sources, innocent people have also confessed to the crime due to psychological pressure. Polygraph. Polygraph is a tool for lie detection. It uses heart rate, sweating, respiration, and brain waves. Time pressure technique. The time pressure technique involves putting time pressure on the suspect. The interrogation police use deception such as, if you confess now, your sentence will be reduced. People never like to miss an opportunity. The suspect thinks that this might be an opportunity not to be missed. Stepwise confession technique. The stepwise confession technique is a technique for getting a suspect to confess step by step. It argues that it is less intimidating to approach the suspect in small steps. The suspect responds more moderately in this way. False witness. False witness involves the use of false witnesses or evidence to manipulate a suspect in an interrogation. Evidence bluffing. Evidence bluffing involves the interrogating police making a suspect confess by presenting false evidence, e.g., we found the gun and your fingerprints are on it. Subscribe for more videos. Happy days.